Alright, welcome to the channel, and today we'll be talking about the Rosson Audio Rad-0s, and that's these lovely beasts. So yeah, fantastic headphones. I've had about 3 to 4 of these in-house over the years and really enjoy them. Alex Rosson handed these over to me to check out at CanJam New York City, so it was awesome actually hanging out with him there and having a long chat. They are not asking me to say or do anything other than my honest opinion regarding these headphones, which we will dive into now. Alright, so first off with these is, and actually you might have noticed there's something unique on these ones, which a friend of mine, he actually creates this really cool, non-invasive, non-destructive little adapter to add a leather strap to the top here, which is really, really cool. Outside of that, this is pretty much an all-stock deal, and if anyone's interested in this strap, I will post information regarding that down below in the description. Anyhow, onto the build of these. It's Rosson build, so it's fantastic. They're like, the resin cups are gorgeous. These ones are kind of like an all blacked out version of the Rad-0s. The pads are the classic Rosson pads. They have that nice kind of hybrid with the velour on the face here with the synthetic leather pad in general, and really nice, really dig on them. So let's see, the other thing is you have your, right now I have the strap so it's kind of locked in place where I like it, but you can move it up and down where you like without the strap and set it to where you want. The hardware itself is very easy to use, has some pretty good movement to it and adjustability. Overall feel and comfort of these is lovely. Like, I have no complaints, like, especially on the aesthetics. The aesthetics of these are always gorgeous. Alex always makes gorgeous pieces of art out of all of his headphones. They're beautiful, they're solid, and I have no qualms about these at all. This strap here, like I said, is a little aftermarket deal, and it's really nice, but it's not necessary. This upper pad is very cush and very comfortable. There, I will say, so some concerns, I guess, to be said about these for some people is that they are a little bit on the heavier side. This strap here that I got aftermarket does help with that a little bit, but at the end of the day, these are definitely a little bit on the heavier side, but it's not a problem for me. So diving into the sound, let's take off the beanie and slap these bad boys on. Today I will be utilizing my Hollow Audio Spring 3. It's kind of be my kind of DAC of choice right now, just the way I have it set up, for at least for the next couple of videos potentially. And that's feeding into my ECP T4, or I'll be swapping over to the Violectric V281, which I still have on loan from my buddy. So first up, I think what I will do is, just because it's been kind of the mainstay for the past couple of videos and it's in my head and easy to listen to, we'll do Twirl Me by Wild Light once again. Probably getting sick of this track, but it's something I've been listening to a lot, so I'm familiar with it, and let's dive into it. Whew, man, these are stupid good. So if it isn't known, I'm not the biggest planar fan in general. Like, I generally don't like most planars, and it's not really fair, it's not really accurate, but I generally gravitate mostly to dynamic drivers. The exception being to that is the Rad-0s. Like, for whatever reason, those just sound so good for me. I really, really, really enjoy them. They are fantastic. And so with Rosson Audio, the way they do things is they do 3 tunings generally, which is like a warmer, a neutral, and like a bright. And I believe these are the warmer tuning. Even with that, it's still like you get lovely highs, and like that separation and speed of the planar. And usually that's where I get problems with planars, is the separation just seems unnatural or overly done. And with the Rads, I don't really get that as much. I just get all the speed and all the joy out of it. Fantastic. And with this track, so the highs, you get that, there's a crisp, like, where they're hitting like a, it sounds almost like they're hitting like a wood log type instrument. I can't remember the name of that instrument, but it's like you have the wood thing, you hammer it, and it makes that really loud noise. And so that could be somewhat bright for certain headphones, and this, it sounded just right. And her vocals were very lovely, and yeah, fantastic. Like, I'd say that the staging isn't quite as wide as as wide as I would like, I should say. It's fine. It's you know, typical headphone. It's a little bit probably wider than something like super closed in. I'd say it's like a medium wideness, I guess. And the depth is pretty decent. I'd say the biggest strength that these have though is that slam, and that low end like punch and slam kind of pulls you down and gets you into the music and keeps you there, you know. Other things I was picking up with these was because of that separation and that the way it images with that separation and how fast they are, you can really pick up all the different parts of the instruments and tracks. And even with some of the digital stuff, it's really cool how it will like has this like whoosh sound, and it's just fantastic the way that sounds and comes across. The violin is really, really excellent in the background, so it actually portrays it in the background and has it nicely separated, and it's really lovely. And when you wrap it all together into a bundle, it's fantastic, and I can easily get lost in listening to music with these. Let's see, so let's dive into another track. Maybe, you know, I'm gonna go with my go-to Go-Go Penguin, Signal and Noise, just because it's another one that I listen to all the time. But Signal and Noise, Go-Go Penguin is the next track. Man, is that fantastic. That's stupid good. Like, the way that the kick drum hits, and then the bass, stand-up bass, the way the strum, oh, that stupid. And then the piano comes in, and it's like this tonal, just like shimmery amazingness. And like I said, it's not the widest stage, but everything is so placed properly. Like, you just get lost into listening to it. Like, I don't have any desire to really pick apart this music, if that makes sense. Like, I don't have a desire, like, it's not presenting in a way that's making me like want to pick it apart or lean forward, but it's such a dynamic way of listening in the sense that everything's so separated just right that you can easily just kind of focus in on each different instrument as it comes in or layers in, especially with this track, 'cause they kind of bring them in slowly throughout the track. And whew, fantastic. The way it's layered and the way it presents is actually pretty darn natural from my experience. I wouldn't say it's quite as natural sounding as, say, like the new Atriums from ZMF, but it's right there, man. Like, these are, in fact, I would say, I had a buddy over trying, he brought his Rad-0s over, and he was listening to the Atriums with his Rad-0 back to back, and he was like, I'm pretty sure that's like my in-game 2 headphone in-game right there. And I can agree with that. Like, I think between these and the Atriums, you'd be hard put to find a better combo for kind of in-game headphones, depending on what you're looking for. I'd say the big standout for me is that separation without it coming off as fake or unreal sounding. It sounds natural. It's just really nicely done in the way it's placed. Yeah, and then that low end, I'd say that, so between the separation and the low end, the imaging, that's what I think the biggest strengths these have. They have plenty of detail as well. I wouldn't say they're the most detailed monster things out there, but they definitely have enough detail where if you want, you can dive in and really pick apart stuff, but you don't really need to. These are great for just listening, which is what I like to do. I want to just listen to the music, and these do that without forcing me, I guess. Like, there's some headphones that kind of make you listen in a way that is like you end up picking apart the track, right? Like, oh, I'm hearing, you know, overly bright, or it's what, and these are just easy. And that's the thing about these. And over the years that I've listened to different versions of these, or different versions of different headphones that I've had of different Rad-0s, to me, these are what I like for like the way things are presented. And the only other really big headphone that does that for me, like on a regular, is the ZMFs. So like these, to me, and I say it every once in a blue moon, I'm not sure if it's appropriate to use this as a comparison or as a term, but to me, these are the planar version of a ZMF. Like, they just sound so good. And they just kind of get me as far as planars go. Like, these are the planars I will eventually have. So I'm looking forward to getting a set from Alex, because these are fantastic. I love these things. So let's pick one more track, and I think I'm gonna do a more vocal forward one. And so I'm thinking, and something that has a little more, like, can be a little bit sibilant potentially, but has a lot of really cool detail. I'm gonna go with Clara, Chlara, and it's This Love, and it's a female singer with a very, vocal forward, and I think it's a guitar in there. Yeah, we'll listen to that and we'll go from there, and we'll kind of finalize this video up. Man, a little bit of goosebumps there. So this track can, like, I've had focals, even some of the ZMF lineup I've had, where it can, especially the guitar strum or her voice at certain points, where it will kind of spike into that almost being sibilant or almost like uncomfortable levels, and it flirts the line a little bit, where this, like, the roll off of the highs is just right for this track, and it sounds so good. And then the way that it echoes in the space that she's in, that she's singing, and the guitar, just fantastic. And she's very forward, like, her vocals are very forward in the headphones, and the guitar's kind of like a little bit further back, and it's just fantastic sounding. It kind of also highlights a little bit of like the staging and what have you. So I would say, like, the stage, like, so with the Atriums, it's like this big 3D space. With the Rads, it's not quite 3D, like, or like this big wide or like deep or tall stage. It's more of a smaller stage, and I kind of do get that, not quite the 3 blob, it's more of, a proper stage, but I'm definitely getting the cone, more of a cone kind of signature out of it. And that was with this track specifically. So I mean, obviously certain tracks will be a little bit more, like if you did like a Yoshi Horikawa track, it might be a little more kind of all over the place, as far as like that depth. Man, yeah, these are fantastic. So final thoughts on these are, and these aren't the easiest to get a hold of for demo or to try out and what have you, but I definitely think if you're in the market for a planar that's just super easy to get along with and dead gorgeous, like, fantastically made, artistic. You can get custom ones done with the rings. You can do the custom rings and what have you. And I know that they do like B stock and stuff like that, so you can try those out and see the website there, which I'll link the website below. Yeah, these things at the end of the day are the planars of my choice. Like, I've yet to hear a planar that beats these for my preferences. And here's another thing, like, most people like to EQ planars. I'm not a big EQ guy. These to me don't need EQ, and I think that's another reason why, at least for me, why I love these a lot. Because usually with planars, it's like there's always something that I'm like, I don't get along with. Whereas with these, like, I just put them on and just go, and fantastic, love these. I've been lucky to have 2 back-to-back amazing headphones for checking out, and that just really get my preferences, and I'm really stoked that I got the opportunity to listen to both the Atriums and also the Rad-0s back-to-back, because they're both fantastic headphones. So thank you everyone for checking out the video, and hopefully it was entertaining if nothing else, and I will catch you all on the next one. Cheers.